Ex-smokers of Reddit, what actually worked to get you to successfully stop smoking? Just coming off my 5th failed attempt at quitting. Frown. Any advice? My trigger is being at work. Healthcare. You only get a break if you step outside and light up. I have the electronic cigarette, but I end up smoking real ones anyway. Help. I knew I had to quit. My young son was getting older and was very aware. I kept putting it off because smokers are great at that. Then one day my 2-year-old picked someone's grubby old butt up off the ground, put it in his mouth and said, "Look daddy, I'm smoking too." Heartbreaking. I quit cold turkey the next day. So the moral of my story is that having a really great reason to quit smoking that means a lot to you is important. Edit. Thanks for the gold anonymous friend. Thanks everyone for your great stories. I'm enjoying them all. Vaping. I haven't smoked since August and I don't miss it. And this is after a 30-year habit. Same here. Pack a day down to nothing. Gave up vaping when I weaned myself down to 0 nicotine juice, and donated my gear to a friend. No smoking or vaping since October. No more coughing shit up. I'm still in two minds whether I should bother quitting vaping. I'm only on 6 milligrams, but I kind of like being mildly addicted to something. But I feel about 1,000,000 times better than on real cigs. I'll never go back. I felt the same way when I quit vaping though, but I was vaping way too much, about half a bottle a day. I was at 6 milligrams for a few months, then switched to 0 milligrams for a week. Woke up one day and didn't vape anymore. Feels good, man. I was wasting so much money on vaping supplies too. Poverty. In my early 20s I hit a rough patch and I had to choose smoking or eating. I'm glad you made the right choice. Fell in love with a girl who didn't smoke. Simple as that. I got self-conscious about my breath and teeth and the smell of my clothes. I wanted her to want to kiss me all the time. And she never pressured me to quit. She just said smoke or don't smoke, but quit acting like you want to stop and then buying more. Sometimes, I still have one when I'm really stressed. Finals week, etc. It's easy to stop when you don't want to be a smoker anymore. I barely enjoy them now. Yeah man, exactly how I did it. The girl's gone now, but so are the cigarettes. I'm happy with that result. Electronic cig. I'm still using it but am now down to no nicotine in it. I haven't had a cig in almost 3 years. Well done. I'm at about 6 months, still high a nick, but hoping to drop soon. Thank you. I'm glad I did it and can actually breathe again. I don't look at the cig as having a negative effect on my health. It's only mental at this point since I am using no nicotine now. I've been using cigs for a bit now. I started off with the equivalent nicotine mgs as what I was smoking a day. Once I run out of the vape juice I go in for a new bottle and decrease the nicotine level by 2. I'm now almost completely independent of nicotine. I've had a few cigs here and there and I can honestly say I prefer the taste of the vape over the cigs now. Be strong and good luck. I read a free PDF copy of the book The Easy Way to Quit Smoking by Alan Carr and quit cold turkey. I also followed /r/stop smoking around that time, where I found the book. I haven't had or wanted a cig since March 2013. Good luck. Upvote Alan Carr. The Easy Way to Quit Smoking audiobook for me. If you make it through the book you will quit at the end. If you don't you won't. Simple as that. No withdrawals, cold turkey. It really is in your head. This book lets you realize that it really was easy. My wife getting pregnant. I really just needed to truly want to quit. If you go into quitting while expecting to put up a fight, you'll win the fight. Pretty much this, wanting to quit is the main thing. I've tried various things, eat guys and the rest, but the moment for me was it was either smoking or moving forward with my girlfriend. It's been a month or so now and yes I've slipped, but I am determined and I am getting the mental cravings less every day. I wrote a $2,000 check to the Westboro Baptist Church and handed it to my closest confidant and said, if you even hear about me smoking or using any sort of nicotine, you have to mail this in. In 1 year, you can return the check to me and I'll reevaluate. I failed quitting at least 20 times before this. With this method, it was by far the easiest time I ever had quitting. I had stakes in the game. I couldn't afford to lose. I couldn't lie to this guy and sneak one either. Guilt would be my own hangman. Note: cravings never go away, they just become easier to ignore. It's been 8 months and the last time I thought about smoking was yesterday. E-cigarettes, starting off at 24 milligrams nicotine and gradually winding down to 0 milligrams. I kept smoking nicotine free for a few weeks and finally quit. I love e-cig stories. Good for you, man. I haven't smoked a cigarette in over a year. I was a pack-a-day smoker for around 15 years. I quit cold turkey using the book Alan Carr's Easy Way to Stop Smoking. Someone posted it to Reddit late one night and I decided fuck it can't hurt to read it. You are told to smoke at different points throughout the book and then have one last cigarette after you finish the whole book. Well, that last cigarette happened to coincide with the last in my pack and the next morning I just wasn't motivated to buy another pack and I haven't since. 2 things: an e-cigarette and actually wanting to quit. I couldn't have done it cold turkey. I'd tried a couple of times, but using the e-cig for a few months worked very well. I ended up using it less and less as time went on, and finally stopped altogether. Electronic cigarette and Swedishness. A good quality e-cigarette, personal vaporizer, variable wattage, quality clear atomizer and a wide variety of juices. E-cigarettes. Been smoking for 16 years, just quit this last Thanksgiving. Now cigarettes taste like crap. I still use my vape but I feel great. Brushing my teeth a lot made me taste the yuck. Naturally I grew uncomfortable with it. My girlfriend informed me that I was quitting. I smoked for years and tried a lot of methods to quit such as patches, gum, e-cigs etc. The only option for me was to quit cold turkey. It requires willpower but it was the best way for me. For me the most important thing was to understand that smoking a cigarette does not help with any problem I have, nor does it make any moment any more special than it already is. For example, if I'm stressed, the smoker me wanted to have a smoke and thought that it is more difficult to deal with stress after having a smoke. The non-smoking me understands that the only way to deal with stress is to find the real cause for it and do something about that reason. Smokers tend to give cigarettes more value than they actually have. Mostly it is the ritual, the smoking break, having something to do with your hands, going outside for 5 minutes that helps, not the ciggy. Also, I ate a tiny bit of nicotine gum blended with normal sugar-free gum for the worst moments. I ate in total about 20 pieces. I had some cravings for salt licorice at the time, maybe the taste is a bit similar. For me it helped. Switching to the e-cig worked well for me as well as most of my friends. I decided to try them out when they were still very new. There wasn't a whole lot of variety at the time and the first type I tried didn't satisfy, so I went back to tobacco. But as e-cigs grew in popularity, better products came out and were largely more satisfying than cigarettes. I don't know if you could classify this as 100% quitting, but it is definitely a better alternative. A majority of my friends have stepped down their nicotine levels and are at 0 milligrams. The only thing left to beat is the hand-to-mouth routine. And I think that is the hardest part. I can't speak for myself, so I'll tell my dad's story. He smoked for most of his life, and had a heart attack. The doctors advised him to quit, and he tried, he really did. Patches didn't work. Gum didn't work. So he always went back to smoking. Until he needed a heart bypass operation. He had a meeting with the surgeon who told him, if you don't stop smoking completely in 3 months' time, I will not do the operation. If you don't have this operation, you will not live to see your son grow up. You probably won't see Christmas. Worked a treat for him. As I recall, research suggests that gum, patches, etc. all feed the craving, and the most successful quitters were those who went cold turkey. I could probably find a source for that if necessary. Warm turkey. Vaporizer, e-cig, 0 milligrams, and eventually I just stopped that too. Think I just liked having something to do instead of letting my hands idle. I read Alan Kaz's book about quitting. The argument that did it for me was that smoking doesn't really make you feel better, it just makes you feel worse when you're not smoking, and then when you smoke you get to feel as good as a non-smoker feels all the time. Vaporizers? Hands down. My whole family decided to switch to them as well, which helped a lot. Tried quitting before only to start back up because everyone else in the house smoked. Once we all quit, it was easier than anything else I've done. It was basically a social stigma that made me smoke. Edit, update holy shiza. I'm overwhelmed at all the responses and so grateful for the suggestions to help assist to break that habit. You guys that suggested vaping, you won. Top answer on the board, you all pass go. Collect $200. I got the Ego electronic cigarette with strawberry 24 milligrams nicotine juice. I committed to it this time and went 11 days without a real cigarette. I had a bad day, subsequent drunken night, and smoked the real ones and suffered that shit feeling. I was so mad that I just kept on smoking. Then I read more of your responses and someone said the more times you quit, the more likely it will eventually stick. I thought about that and have now successfully gone 1 week cigarette free, just vaping. I did, admittedly, smoke some of a Swisher Sweet on Valentine's Day, but have not caved into buying a pack of cigarettes or even accepted offered cigarettes. I'm so thankful for your responses. You guys are awesome. Thank you for your good luck vibes. I believe they are helping me succeed. Bless y'all.
Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.